All right, y'all. So I just saw End of the Road. We gonna check this out. So we got this lady by the name of Brenda. She has two siblings. My bad. Cam and Kelly. Cam is a boy. Kelly's a girl. Now apparently they're in a situation where they have to move from California to go back to Texas. Now Brenda was making money, but Jake was the breadwinner. Jake was their dad. Now unfortunately he passed away because of cancer. He had chemotherapy and all this other stuff, but he didn't make it. Now all of them at this point are basically waiting on their Uncle Reggie to show up. He gets out the car smoking weed. Uncle Reggie, you get it? Anyway. If you don't know already, Brenda is Queen Latifah and Reggie is Ludacris. There you go. And you can check out Ludacris in that John Henry movie if you want to. Yeah, it came out on Netflix a while ago, but anyway. So now they all basically about to take this road trip to Texas. I think Brenda's mom is there and some family members or whatever like that, so there you have it. While they're in the road trip, we got a random scene with this helicopter coming down. You got these two guys by the name of Rudy and Pepe or whatever like that. This dude drops off a bag full of money and he gets back on the helicopter. So Pepe's like, yeah, we got the money. We're going to take this back to Mr. Cross. But Rudy pulls out a gun on Pepe like, man, fuck Mr. Cross. Bow. Done deals with ass. So basically, he about to take the money for himself. So at this point now that they driving there in like Arizona, she's talking to the cashier and I sense a hint of racism going on around here within the conversation. So when Kelly finishes using the bathroom, Brenda's like, yeah, we got to get up out of here. So before they get back to the car, these two white boys in the truck are trying to holler at Kelly. Kelly flips them off real quick and then gets out. That turns out to be a problem because as soon as they get back on the road, the same two white boys are trying to ram them off the road and shit. Then they speed past them just to put up a blockade in the middle of the road. So we're like, really? So Brenda's got to go out there and apologize just so they can be let through and going on about their business. She gets back in the car. Kelly learns her lesson because she knows she's in the wrong part of town to be doing some shit like that. So basically at this point, it's getting late. They trying to get to a hotel. So they go to the Sunset Hotel. And they about to get some sleep. But like 4 o'clock in the morning, they hear a little bit of rumbling next door. Next thing you know, you hear a gunshot. They're like, oh, snap. So because Brenda used to be a certified nurse, she waits till the guy leaves, whoever the guy was, and then they go out there and go around next door to the room. Turns out it's the guy, Rudy, the one that got shot. So like, wait a minute, Rudy from the other guys? Yeah, that Rudy. They tried to say him, but he was done deal dead as shit. Now at this point, Reggie had went into the bathroom looking for towels, and when he pulled out the towels, he seen the bag that was in there. It was like, oh, shit. So we thinking to ourselves, is Reggie gonna take the bag? Goddamn Reggie gonna take the bag. Next day, Captain Hammers shows up to the scene. He's the sheriff of this here town. So he explains about Rudy, explains about this guy named Mr. Cross. They say he's been killed like 50 some odd people or whatever. Talks about he's been trying to catch him for years and hasn't caught him. Now, our lovable family's not there either. They're back on the road. But they did get their statements. The problem is they ain't find the money. So they get this little eatery spot they letting Cam and Kelly play. And Reggie and Brenda having a conversation. Now, she knows when he's lying and when he's not because he starts twitching and whatnot. And so Reggie confesses he took the bag out of the room. She looks in and sees money and she's like, what the fuck, dude? He's telling her how this can change their lives and everything like that. Like, hell, we don't even have to go to Texas. We can go back to California for real. But she ain't having none of it because she knows that type of money don't come around for free. Landing in the laps and shit. But the thing is, she ain't trying to go back. She's trying to go forward. She actually gets a call from one of Mr. Cross's associates. They know her name, all that good shit. So her idea is to go to this random hotel like room 33 and put the bag in there. She's going to hide the key in the mat and all that. Now, the problem with that is, I think a certain hotel maid ended up seeing what the fuck she was doing. So afterwards, they go about their business. They stop at this little soiree or whatnot. Cam goes to the bathroom. While that's going on, she gets a call from Mr. Cross again. He's like, why you playing games? You better give me the money. And then we see somebody kidnapping Cam. We're like, oh shit, now they got a bargaining chip. So now she goes all the way back to the room 33, but guess what? The money's gone. And you can take a good hint where it went. She sees the maid with the bag about to get in the car and shit. And then we had the high-speed chase. She flips her car over, takes the bag, and she's about to dip. The only problem is she made it to her sanctuary and whatnot. Bunch of crew members there, they kidnap her, and they take the bag. Meanwhile, Reggie and Kelly are in a different location at this random bar. Then all of a sudden, Captain Hammers approaches. I'm thinking to myself, how the hell did he find them so damn quick? So basically, he goats them into like basically trying to get their help, you know what I'm saying? Trying to find Cam and all that good shit. Reluctant at first, but then Kelly asks for his help. So now they about to ride with the sheriff. Meanwhile, Brenda ends up waking up. She somehow busts out of a chains that she's in. These niggas just still standing around enjoying the money because they ain't got nowhere else to go and nothing else to do, right? She ends up fighting these niggas, ends up pulling out a gun and swears and bangs off in one of the dude's leg thinking that she playing. Then she tells him, look, man, this money ain't mine. I'm trying to get my kid back. This money belong to Mr. Cross. As soon as they hear that name, they're like, hey, put that money back in the fucking bag. Apparently, Mr. Cross, that nigga out here on these streets. They don't want no problems with Mr. Cross. They give her the money and let her go about her business. Meanwhile, the sheriff ends up taking Reggie and Kelly over to his private house or whatever like that. The lady comes out offering them tea and whatnot. But then he opens up the trunk and we see Cam in the trunk. Oh shit. Captain Hammers and Mr. Cross are all the same damn person. Crooked cops and thievery. So now they got all three of the family members down in the basement. So Brenda's trying to hurry up and get there to the contact after Mr. Cross sends them a picture of the family and shit. And then we get the flashback about Mr. Cross actually being the one that killed off Rudy in the hotel. Now, he was able to catch up to Rudy because he put a tracker on Rudy's car. But when did he have time to put a tracker on Brenda's car? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just And plus, at the time, he wasn't even sure if there were suspects on anything. So it was like, so Brenda's basically trying to get to the house at this point. She ended up crashing into a tree because she tried to swerve over a coyote. So basically, she had to walk a mile. Meanwhile, the kids are trying to break through a window at the bottom of the basement, but the thing is, they had a guard dog over there, so that wasn't going to work. So Mr. Cross came downstairs, started talking shit to Reggie, but he didn't realize he had another trap set up. Cam ended up pulling this rope with a bucket over top and poured down a bunch of chlorine in his fucking eyes. They beat him up and ran upstairs, and they beat up the old lady and tossed both them niggas in the basement. Reggie did get hit in the side with some scissors though, but he be alright. So as they're running out the house, Brenda shows up to the house. They're all together again, happy family. But now they gotta go to the car and get the car running. While this is happening, Mr. Cross and wife end up breaking out of the basement, grabbing a bunch of guns. Now Reggie was still trying to leave with the bag of money. He's like, man, it's a crooked copy's foul. Like, what the fuck? Nobody's gonna look for this. So beyond Brenda's good conscience, Reggie was like, alright. So he drops the bag off again. They fix up the car, they finally get it going, but by the time they get it going, Mr. Cross and the wife is chasing after them niggas. Brenda ended up picking up a gun somewhere because apparently she had it on a person, so she was trying to fire back while they was trying to fire, and the car chase began again. Now, somewhere between the car chase, Mr. Cross's windshield got shot, so they had to kick the windshield out. Keep that in mind. So there's a point in the chase where Brenda fell out the back seat, and now Mr. Cross pretty much has her where he wants her, right? So he don't know whether to shoot her or run her over, so he's just gonna have his fun, right? So right when they're about to drive up, she ends up pulling out one of those dynamite flares and throwing it in the car, then dumps out the way, and I'm like, oh shit. The car swerves over to the right. While trying to get the flare, Mr. Cross accidentally shoots his wife. She runs into a tree. He runs straight through that bitch. Mr. Cross and wife done deal dead as shit. And then the car catches on fire and it fucking explodes. So now the family back on the road, they go to Texas. They're kind of all in a somber mood, and they just like going through all the traumatic emotions of everything that happened, and they just sitting there eating breakfast. But Reggie kind of happy for some reason. So then Brenda starts looking up and they're like, hey, yo, what you do, yo? This is after he said he's gonna pay for everybody. He's like, nigga, what you do? You thought he was giving them back all their bread? Hell no, he kept a couple stacks. He was like, fuck that shit. Brenda's still feeling some type of way, but they like, yo, give it back to who? You gonna go back over there to give it to him? She got outruled 3-4. Bottom line is, she got down with it. Collect the money. And that's the end of the movie for you. There you go. End of the road on Netflix. Check that shit out. Yeah.